Om Shanti. Avyakt BaapDada. Today's date 20th November 1969. 28th of November 1969. Title is Methods to Transform the Lौkic into Alaukic. Murli's title is Methods to Transform the Lौkic into Alaukic. For did Baba is saying, what day of the bhatti is it today? Today it is the day for surrendering yourself completely. You consider it to be this day, and this is why you have called BaapDada. Baba is saying you consider it to be this day, and this is why you have called BaapDada. Are you ready to surrender completely, or do you think that you have already surrendered completely? Today it is a celebration for those who have surrendered completely. Have all of you surrendered completely? What is the vision like of those who have surrendered completely? Their vision and attitude are pure. But with what method did their vision and attitude become pure? In just one word, it can be said that there is spirituality in their vision and attitude. That is, their vision and attitude become spiritual. When you do not see the body, the vision becomes pure. When your eyes do not even see non-living things, your attitude will not be drawn towards them. If your vision does not go towards them, neither will your attitude. Your attitude is drawn towards them when your vision is drawn towards them. Spiritual vision means that you have to see yourself and others as spirits. Even while looking at the body, you must not see it. You should have such practice. For example, when someone is deep in thought, even while he is walking, eating, drinking, or whatever he is doing, he does not realize how much he has already done or what he has eaten. In the same way, you will not see the body even while looking at it, but you will be busy seeing yourself as a soul. Your stage will be then, Baba says, your stage will be then become such that when anyone asks you what so and so was like, you will not know. Your stage will be like that. However, that will only happen when you transform the lौकिक things that you see into their spiritual form. In order to bring about transformation in yourself, you will have to change your way of seeing lौकिक things and lौकिक relations. You will have to have a spiritual awareness of lौकिक things. Baba says you will have to have a spiritual awareness of lौकिक things. When you look at lौकिक relations, you must consider them to be the final generation of the children of Brahma Baba. They are part of the dynasty of Brahma. Brahma is the creator. So whether they are devotees, enlightened souls, or ignorant souls, they are also part of that generation. Are they not? So even lौकिक relations are part of the dynasty of Brahma. However, some are in a close relationship, whereas others are in a distant relationship. It is the same when you see anything lौकिक. Whatever you are working in your office, Baba is saying, whether you are working in your office or doing your business, eating food or looking at or speaking about something, you should have a spiritual awareness of every lौकिक thing. You have to continue to move from the activity of your body. Baba says you have to continue to move for the activity of your body, but while going towards your lौकिक work with the feet of the body, at the same time consider with your intellect that you are moving towards your alaukic land and bringing benefit. The feet are walking there, but the intellect is engaged on the pilgrimage of remembrance. Just as you give food to the body, in the same way continue to give the soul the food of remembrance. This remembrance is food for the soul. At the time you give food to your body, you give the soul strength through the power of remembrance. When you have to do, Baba is saying, when do you have to do to bring about transformation within yourself? You have to change everything from lौकिक into alaukic. Through this, people will realize that you are a special alokik soul. Even while living among the Laukiks, you are different from them. With the awareness of the soul, you have to consider yourself to be detached. It is easy to become detached from your duties and your work. You will not be loved by the world through that. You will be loved by the world when you perform your tasks while considering yourself to be soul. Baba is saying, you will be loved by the world when you perform your tasks while considering yourself to be a soul, detached from the body. You must not be detached from just the things of the world, but you first have to be detached from your body. You will be loved when you become detached from your body. You will then be loved by your own mind, by God, and by the world. Why are you not loved by the people at present? Because you have not become detached from your body. You simply try to become detached from the bodily relations. Then, Baba says, they then complain to you and say, how much have you changed yourself? You will continue to receive complaints until you first become detached from your own body. If you become detached from the body, you will not receive any complaints. Then you will be loved by the world. Some look at themselves and also look at the things of the world outside. They change those things, Baba says, they change those other things first and then change themselves. This is why there is no impact. In order to create an impact, you first have to transform yourself. You have to bring about transformation in your vision, attitude, and consciousness, as well as in the way you use your wealth and your time. Then you will be loved by the world. What do you have to do after you have completely surrendered yourself? Baba is telling you what Baba is telling you what your walking and talking should be like. It should be like your memorial which has been shown in the scriptures. Who made whom surrender completely and in how much time? Do you remember the memorial? The example of King Janak. That was inspired by the children, but there is also the memorial in which the father made him surrender completely. They have shown Vaman, an incarnation of the god Vishnu, as a midgate. That is, they have shown something small. What has the smallest form? The soul and the supreme soul. So the father came and took everything from Mahabali. He, God, made the most powerful one completely surrender everything in 3 steps. All of you have to surrender completely. That is, you have to renounce the power of Maya. You must not become strong with the power of Maya, but you must become strong with the godly power. So, just as they have portrayed the 3 steps, what are the 3 things that are spoken of through which there is complete surrender? What are the teaching of your thoughts, words, and actions? If you remember these things, Baba says, if you remember these 3 things, you will become completely surrender. What are these 3 things? One is to renounce your body and bodily relations and remember me alone. This is for your thoughts. What teaching do you receive for your words? Every second, just as you pick up pearls, in the same way, you must only let jewels emerge from your mouth. You must not donate stones to others, but jewels of knowledge. And for your actions, you must remember whatever actions I perform, others will see me and do the same. And also, those who do something will receive the return of it. Both these aspects put power into your actions. That is to say, those who come into connection with you will receive power through this. Do you understand? If you remember these main things for your thoughts, words, and actions, you will be able to make your surrender, Baba says, you will be able to make your surrender complete and eternal. The intoxication that you have here of complete surrender should not decrease later. If you firmly remember that you have surrendered completely, this imperishable remembrance will then make you imperishable. If you fluctuate a little, then obstacles will also make you fluctuate. People will ridicule your fluctuation, Baba says. People will ridicule your fluctuation and your obstacles. BaapDada continues to see everything anyway. Whom will you live with? What will you do if your companion lets go of your finger? All of you must fulfill the responsibility of keeping company. BaapDada tries to fulfill the responsibility of keeping your company in one way or another. That is to say, he tries to hold on to your finger to such an extent that he gives life to even those who are in their last breath. However, if some do not let BaapDada give them oxygen, or if they remove the tube, what can he do? In fact, if you want BaapDada's cooperation, you will not even need to ask for it. Those who are loving automatically receive cooperation. If you have love for BaapDada, you automatically receive cooperation. There is no need to ask for it. In the form of devotees, you have been asking for half a cycle. If you continue to ask even now as a child, then what difference is there between the devotees and the children? You continue to ask for cooperation as ignorant souls. If you consider yourself to be one with a right, Baba is saying, if you consider yourself to be one with a right, you do not need to ask for it. Whatever has happened in the past, now you must also transform all the experiences you have had. Do not think about whatever has happened. Learn a lesson from whatever has happened and be cautious in the future. If you continue to think about whatever has happened in the past, that will become an obstacle. Many obstacles come, and that would be a new obstacle arising. In order to transform the past and to fill yourself with strength, you should think about it in this way. However, instead you think, why did this happen? How did it happen? How will it happen now? Will I be able to take a high jump or not? Do not ask all these questions. Put a full stop instead of question marks. It is easy to put a full stop. Whether someone can write a question mark or not, everyone here knows how to ask questions. Continue to apply a full stop, and you will be able to stabilize yourself in the stage of a point. What do you do after you have explained the museum or the exhibition to people? You give everyone a leaflet about what they have to do after having seen the museum or the exhibition. So today, BaapDada is asking the children, what will you do after the bhatti? How will you make the task of the yajna progress? What will you adopt as a method for your progress? You have to imbibe the divine virtues and become loving anyway. But what will you do in a practical form? All of you related how you will be loving and cooperative to BaapDada and the family. But in what aspects do you have to become that? Together with your thoughts, words and actions, you also have to change yourself in terms of your body, mind and wealth. It is when you become a helper and are faithful that you will be able to be loving and cooperative to BaapDada and the family. What is the sign of those who are cooperative? They will be close to the family and BaapDada in their thoughts and actions. As you continue to come closer to one another in Baba says, as you continue to come closer to one another in opinion, all conflict of opinion will finish. You have been given the method to become helpers and be faithful. Secondly, in what way should those who have surrendered completely with their mind, body, wealth and time? Of course, you have to pay attention to your family, but do you have the accurate judgment of whether you are using accurately the four things that you have been given? Is a completely surrendered soul giving his body, mind, wealth and time to the extent that he should? You must maintain the account of how you use your body, mind, wealth and time. Just as you maintain an account of your home, in the same way, those who have surrendered completely should also write this account. Whether and how did you use your body? You have to write it in short but clearly. There is also detail, but sometimes it is not clear. This is why it should be short and clear. The shorter and clearer you write it, the more clear your internal stage will also become. Baba says the shorter and clearer you write it, the more clear your internal stage will also become. If you keep your thought short, your news will be short and the line of effort will be clear. Then your news will also be clear. Your whole register will be included in this. Thirdly, remember that whatever you have been continuing to do in your thoughts, words and action due to lack of effort has to be completely removed from the intellect, as though you have taken a new birth. In your effort, you have to leave behind all the things of weakness here. Then you will not write in your letters how such and such happened due to the sanskars of the past. Since you have surrendered completely, you must think that Baba says, since you have surrendered completely, you must think that that was something you have already donated. If you have what you have donated back again, Baba says, Baba is saying, if you take what you have donated back again, what would be the result? When you maintain this awareness, all the four things will be transformed. You must never let such words emerge from your mouth. Why do obstacles come in front of you? Because you have imbibed knowledge in the wrong way. If you made a mistake, you say, we have not yet become perfect. There is still time remaining. We are still effort makers. Effort makers do not have the freedom to make mistakes. However, nowadays most of you think that to be an effort maker means that your mistakes are forgiven. This one is doing this, therefore I have to do this. This one has something agyani, one without knowledge. Baba says this one has become agyani, one without knowledge, instead of being a gyani, enlightened soul. What do you have to remember? Whoever does something receives the return of that. Whatever I do, when others see me, they will do the same. I must not do what I see others doing. I should perform such actions that when others see me, they will be inspired to do the same. You have imbibed these minor things in the wrong way. Instead of taking advantage of knowledge in the right way, you use it in the wrong way. And so there is weakness in your effort. Although these are things about not making effort, you instead think that these are things for a life of effort. Therefore, you have been using as an instrument points of knowledge to hide the weaknesses in your effort. Finish all these methods and then Baba says, finish all these methods and then all your obstacles will automatically finish. You have to imbibe four powers. In fact, it is one and the same godly power, but it is said in order to make it clear, the power to merge, that is the power to make something short, the power to accommodate, the power to tolerate, and the power to confront, that is the power to face. However, whom do you have to confront? Not BaapDada or the divine family, but the power to confront Maya, the power to face Maya. If you imbibe all these four powers, you will be able to remain completely and eternally surrendered. It is said, keep everything short and also sort everything out. I have to think this and not this. I have to become this and not this. Continue to sort everything, and Baba says continue to sort everything out and then make everything as short as possible. If whatever you say is in 10 words, Baba says if whatever you say in 10 words is made short, the essence can be, Baba says if whatever you say in 10 words is made short, the essence can then be told in 2 words. Then, by making it short in this way, everything will become short. You have to make such effort after this bhakti. Remember one thing, just as BaapDada revealed all of you children in front of the world, similarly, it is now the task of your children to reveal BaapDada to all souls through your every act and in every situation. This is your duty. You also have to check your chart in that you have given the father's message up to now. But with that message, have you also revealed the love for and the relationship with BaapDada to those souls? No. So, what is that service? You must not do incomplete service. You have now completely surrendered, and so you have to do complete service. Therefore, each of you must also check today to how many souls and to what extent did I reveal the love for and relationship with BaapDada through my thoughts, words, and deeds. Simply to give a message is not service. To give a message means to make that one your relative. Baba says to give a message means to make that one your relative. To make them your relatives means to make them Brahma Kumars and Kumaris who belong to the clan of Shiva. This is what it means to make them your relatives. You will make them your relatives when you make them loving. Baba says you will make them your relatives when you make them loving. By becoming loving, they will become relatives. Simply to give a message is the service of a crawling speed. Whereas to do this is to service at a fast speed, means to make them loving is to do a service at a fast speed. Spread the soul in the world of how Baba says, spread the sound in the world of how BaapDada is carrying out his task in an incognito way. Bring them into that love and relationship. All of them are your relatives, are they not? So remind your relatives of how their relationship. Baba says, so remind your relatives of their relationship. Make the souls who have become separated loving. Now the incognito form of service is taking place. The revealed form of service is not happening. When they come to the museum and see the external form, that is something else, but the form of service at present is incognito. When the form of service is revealed, revelation will take place. Many new plans of how service can grow. Baba says, make new plans of how service can grow. How can you create that sound? Now go and give them the information and the message without any hesitation at all. Continue to hold exhibitions, but after that, you yourself must also do what you tell them. Get together and think about how the world can come to know of the present time and the task that is now being carried out. In whatever way the sound should reach them. The service that should happen through the papers has not yet happened. In one gathering, understand one another, be cooperative and bring about the unlimited form of service in an unlimited way. Everyone in this group has the enthusiasm merged of definitely becoming 100% in the way that BaapDada wants. Since it is in an emerged visible form, it will happen. Baba says, since it is in an emerged, Baba says, since it is in an emerged, that is visible form, it will happen. The day is also close when what everyone has in their mind to surrender themselves totally from their Lockic task will happen. However, that will only happen when you have surrendered with your mind. Then it will not take long to surrender yourself from your Lockic task. At this time, surrender your mind. A number will be given accordingly. Whoever result is good. Whether there is a program for a bhatti or not, Madhuban is a bhatti anyway. You will continue to come to Madhuban and continue to give your proof of becoming immortal. The greatest surrender is to surrender your thoughts. No thoughts should be wasted. It is because of these thoughts that the time and energy are wasted. So you have to surrender yourself completely with your thoughts. You now have to put the enthusiasm in your mind into a practical form. Baba says you now have to put the enthusiasm in your mind into a practical form. Acha, Shanti.